I'm so pumped to share what God has for you. I have a pop quiz for all of you. Let's go to the next one. And let me take you through this pop quiz. And let's see if you're able to guess who these overcomers are. I'm going to give you hints, okay? Let's go. Very good. He couldn't get a job in physics for 2 years. And he was not fit for physics world. That's how they said. And he won the Nobel Prize for physics. Albert Einstein overcame. He's paralyzed from waist below, cannot move without a wheelchair, but 4 terms, not 1 term, 4 terms he has been the US president. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Seems like these are tough questions. All right, let's go next. Rejected from the job that he did not have enough imagination. You have no imagination. Get out of the job. But built the largest place for imagination and children love this place. I love this place as well. Walt Disney. Good job. You're catching up. During his birth, there were complications. The doctor used the forceps and pulled the baby out. His lower side of the face is paralyzed. But he became a great movie star. This is the first movie I saw with my dad. Any guesses? Sylvester Stallone. Broke, depressed, divorced, single mother, children's book author, great series, rejected by all major publishing houses, now one of the bestsellers, Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, excellent. Cut from his varsity basketball team in his sophomore year, considered a GOAT in basketball. Good guess, very good. Oh, this one is a tough one for you. This person went through one of the highest pain in the world. This is the maximum pain. Full-time job, no salary, no leaves, no benefits, no appreciation at all. Best doctor, nurse, and counselor combination. Usually left hurt and alone when old. I think some of you got the answer. You should speak up. Our own moms. Every single one of them are overcomers. You can't even bear that pain. Just stub your toe somewhere. I can't bear that. But look at, these are overcomers. Every single example. This is around us throughout the world. Great. Let's move on. Last week we saw the overcoming definition. The overcoming definition. Pastor's message. Succeed in dealing with a problem or a difficulty. Defeat an opponent or prevail over, or overpower or overwhelm. These were some earthly definitions in Google you could find, right? This is how our pastor started, right? If we have an understanding of this word, then we will understand what's going on further, and we can see how we can apply to that. This week, yes, we are going to talk about David the overcomer. One of the favorite persons in Bible for me, David the overcomer. Amazing example. If you start reading, sometimes I feel like, David, I know that story. It's very simple. Goliath, David, right? Throw stones, done. Start reading. It goes on and on. Lots and lots of treasures hidden. We never go past that Goliath story. Today, I want to share with you one of the greatest overcomers. His name is David, and he is right there in Bible. Excellent. So let's move on. Oh, what is so interesting in this? We know the title. Let's say I'm taking you to a movie. I tell you the title. I tell you who is the hero. I tell you what is the climax. I tell you the story as well. What is the fun in it? Today is going to be challenging for me. Because you know the story. You know who is the hero? David. You know what he did? He overcame in life. What is there to say? Let's find out we know all these details. We even know the story. Then what are we going to focus on? How did he do it? How did he do it? What is the secret of his success? How did he face? What did he face? The how part is what we are going to focus today. You're with me today so far? Excellent, excellent. Now, I want to give the timeline to you so that you understand when these things are happening. Right? So that you will be able to understand the context. If you remember, in this diagram you see, from Joshua and the elders, the timeline is moving, and you see judges, and at some point of time, You see, there is a first king, there is a second king, third king. Who is the first king? Saul was the first king. Who asked for this king? The Israelites went and said, "Oh, we really want a king." And Saul was given to them. Was this king good? We knew that he was not at all good. Now comes the second king, that is David, and after him Solomon. So if you understand, so far in the spectrum, you're seeing Joshua and the elders and the judges. Now first king came, and that guy was a complete failure. Now there is a second king coming into the picture, and that second king is David. So if you understand the timeline, you will understand where and when this is happening. If you're more interested, you can look at the years as well. Right? Now, what is this guy facing? What did he face? If you have to face something, then overcome, then it makes sense. If you're not facing anything and just living, it's called surviving, like coma patient, right? Face a challenge, face something that we couldn't do, then overcome that, then it makes sense. Now look at this. What did he face? Number one, he faced battles. Oh, come on. What is so important about this? He is a king. He has to face battles. What is the big deal about it? Of course, he is a king. And look at the number of battles he has fought. This is just a small list. You go ahead and read 2 Samuel 8, 1 to 14. There's a list available. But I've given you a few examples here. This is to show you that he has not had a very jolly life. As a king, he has been fighting battles. Running, fighting. That's what is happening. Look at the list. Great. How about us? You may be like, he's a king. He had to go to battle. I'm a father. I had to go to a lot of battles for my family. As a parent, I have to go through a lot of battles for my kids. I have to go through a lot of battles in order to have a good marriage. Every single one of them, every single one of you, we always go through some kind of problem or the other. Look at this. Some of us here, or people watching online, may be going through addictions. Some of us may have faced death. That is a battle to come out of. Some of our own relatives or friends may be in sick bed. That is a huge battle. Everybody will come and give oranges and go. You are the only one who was facing the whole thing. How about this? The last picture. We open the tap, water comes out. There are people who battle for water, who fight daily. I've seen this daily happen. If you just watch it, it is such a heartbreaking experience. People fighting to get one container of water. That is a battle for them to survive. Every single one of us is going through some kind of battle. Some of us addictions, some of us office problems. We do a lot of hard work, nothing is coming out as a result. Captivity, lot of battles. Just like he went through a lot of battles, we are going through a lot of battles. I want to relate that with you. Now, what else did he face? He faced a lot of agonies, pain, hurt. Let's see, what did he face? Number one. Let me give you an example. Maybe it will help. I used to work in a company in Hyderabad. There they used to have these cultural festivals, the culturals every year. Many times during the year. There is one guy, we always try to avoid this guy. Even if we try to not send him an email, he will somehow find out and join the group. You know what he will do? Without anybody inviting, he will give a cassette or some song, and then he will always stand like this. And then he will start dancing. If dance is this side, he is this side. That's how he is. He has no connection to dancing, but he will dance. And you know what many of my friends do? They will wait patiently for the full 15 minutes dance, and the last minute they will say, once more. Then he will go again and stand like this. And then he will start. It will be heartbreaking for all of us. They'll be quiet for 15 minutes. At the end, my friends will start saying, once more. This continues like crazy. Even if you try to ignore this guy, he doesn't allow that. But quite the contrary happened to David. Let's understand what's going on. 1 Samuel 16, 1 to 13. If you read that, if you look at it, Samuel replied, yes, in peace. So basically Samuel is going to meet Jesse's family. Who is Jesse? Jesse is David's dad. And in Jesse's family, you had 8 kids. So Samuel is right here coming in and saying, oh, the moment they saw Samuel, they were like, are you coming in peace? Everything is all right? Are you coming? Because he's a prophet, right? So he's saying, don't worry, I'm coming in peace. Everybody, then he consecrated the whole family and his sons and invited them to the sacrifice. Now look at 10th verse. Jesse had 7 of his sons pass before Samuel, one by one. But look at what has happened. All of them passed by. The Lord has not chosen any of them. Samuel came to choose one of them, and none of them is selected. You know what happened? So he asked Jesse, are these all the sons you have? There is still the youngest, Jesse said. He is tending the sheep. Samuel, send him. We will not sit down until he arrives. There are kids. There is a high visibility visitor in the house, guest in the house, and he is going to anoint people. And the dad doesn't even remember to call David. Ignored. Where is he? Somewhere with cattle. Has this not happened to us? Have we not been ignored at times? You do whole year hard work. Maybe your manager doesn't remember any of that. Maybe you gave a lot of years. The company may throw you in 10 minutes. Maybe you were very, very sacrificial towards the relationship. Those people don't even care about you. How about relatives? How about our own family? Whom we may trust, people may ignore. He experienced ignoring. That agony, only if you go through, you will know that pain. Only if your own relatives, your own friends, your own company, your own things, if they throw you out, you will know the pain of it. He felt through that pain. Let's go to the next one. Envy. Again he faced agony. From whom? Look at this. Let me give you an example. Most of you would have done this in your school days. Let's say this is your desk and you're sharing that with your friend. There is a sitting and the top portion. We always, I'm not sure about you guys, with a compass we have a boundary. You would have done that in your school. This is your classmate sitting in the same desk, but there is a line. If slightly his shirt comes this way, with compass, one poke. More than looking at the class, people will be going attention. Oh, your pant came this side. Envy for nothing. Look at here. Who is doing this? Throwing spear at David 2 times. Who is this guy? This is the king Saul. King being envious to a small boy. Oh, have we not gone through this? They may be in great positions. They may be powerful, but they may be envious on you. They may be working against you. They may be trying to pulling you down. If you have gone through this, you will be able to resonate with this. Look at this. His king, who has asked for his service, is throwing spear at him. Why? Because people started singing nice about David. Look at this. He became envious. He made him the field officer so that he will be in the front and die. Then he said, oh, I'll get my daughter married to you. Why? So that you can go and fight with Philistines, get me 100 people killed. If he goes there, he will die. That's the plan. Look at this. His own king, the guy who says, I'll give my daughter to you, is throwing spear at him and he's trying to kill him. Yes. Maybe people are not trying to kill us. Not to that level. But there are people who may be working against us. Even our own family, our own cousins, we don't know. Let's go to the next one. David faced agonies. He's hurt. Look at this. I'll give you an example. This happened to my mom, dad, and I was a baby. My mom's and my dad's relatives, they took everything from my dad and left us on the road. They didn't have any place to go. Look at this. A youngster, just out of college, with his wife and a baby, has nowhere to go. Hurt. Not to that extent. Maybe there is hurt within marriage. Maybe there is hurt between parents and children. Maybe there is hurt. There is one more hurt. It's called church hurt. Do you know what is church hurt? Do you know what is church hurt? Many people don't go to church because they get church hurt. You go to a new church, all friends will form a big round and keep talking. They don't even care you're standing there. Will you feel like going again? Church hurt. Somebody will directly come and say, you are a sinner, you will go to hell. Church hurt. Will you come next week? Church hurt. Look at this. Let's not do that. His own son, look at this. He goes against his father. Who? David's son is going against his father, and he plots to kill David by forming his own army. Who is this guy? What's his name? Absalom. Own son going against him. Hurt. If it happens, it hurts like crazy. What did he face next? Defeats. Look at that. One evening, you know who this is? This is one of God's favorite person. One evening, he is standing on the balcony and he saw a beautiful woman. He fell for her. And the woman conceived. Now look at what he is doing in 14th verse. In the morning, David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it to Uriah. And what did he say? What is his plan? Put this guy in the front of the army so that he will die. Oh, from God's favorite guy, godly person, look where he is falling down. Look at the defeat. He is given into sensual pleasure. Maybe we are all dressed up super on the outside. What kind of defeats we are facing internally, we don't know. It could be any type of addiction or any kind of, maybe we have fallen for money. Maybe we are not looking at a nice lady and say, but instead, maybe we are looking at somebody's car and saying, I should have it. Recently, I went to a housewarming. That was the heart-wrenching experience. The guy who came with me, instead of enjoying the house and blessing it, I don't know what this guy would have done. He would have robbed a bank or something. That's why he got this house. You know something? 2 days back, I came and saw this house. I don't know how he's got it. Instead of being happy, this guy is always talking bad about that house. I don't know why they invited him. Look at that. It's a defeat. Internally in our heart, we may be looking at somebody's house. That looks good. I want it. Somebody's job, somebody's car, somebody's children, somebody's family, somebody's gifts. You never know where we are falling down. Maybe David saw a lady and fell down in his life. He faced defeats. Where are we defeated? Are we making job choices purely based on money? Are we giving importance so much to our jobs that our family is failing? Let's see where we are defeated. David faced battles. David faced agonies. David faced defeats. Just like us. Just like us. A lot of bad things happen. Just like us. Each one of us are facing this. In our personal lives, there are defeats. In our personal lives, there are battles. In our personal lives, there are hurts that is wrenching our heart. We can't even, sometimes we are not able to say that out, and we say that as unspoken request. Sometimes we are not even able to reach out to others, and we close the door of a room and cry. I've gone through that. Okay, he faced bad. Did he overcome that? Can I learn something from how he overcame? Because I'm going through this. If that is you, my friend, today is the day that we have the answer. One important point. We are covering a lot of stuff here. 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, Kings, Psalms, all of them I'm trying to summarize within this half an hour. So this is not the time I would be taking you through every single verse. I'll be giving you the major sections and the references. I would recommend you to please go and read them. This is a treasure hunt. I tell you, this is a treasure hunt. The more you read, it gives you beautiful insights. Today I'll share what I could find. Okay, the idea is to overcome bad. Excellent. I went ahead and did Google search. How do I overcome bad? What does the world tell me? What does the world religions tell me? What is my friends telling me? Simple, Pradeep. Overcome bad by good. Do a lot of good, then you will go to heaven. Many religions are saying that. Do good. Let us see what David's formula is. Did he follow this do good formula, or did he follow something else? How did this guy become? How did God say that David is close to my heart, a man after my heart? He went to that level. How do I go there? Let's see. David overcame. This is his first formula I could find. Godly goodness. What is this godly goodness? I know goodness. What is this godly goodness? Let's understand. Same instance where Samuel came to anoint. All the 7 children, Jesse's children, are lined up. Samuel goes to the first person. Look at that. Verse 7. The moment God goes to the first guy, Samuel goes to the first guy, God tells Samuel, verse 7, but the Lord said to Samuel, do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And look at verse 12. So he sent for David, him brought in. He was glowing with health and fine appearance and handsome features. Then the Lord said, rise and anoint him. This is the one. Is this not confusing? It is not confusing. Look at 12th verse. It says, he looks good, but look at the previous verse. It says, God does not look at the outward appearance. He looks at his heart. The moment David came, his heart, God looked at his heart. That's why David is selected. All the other 7 kids are not selected. One by one Samuel goes and God says, not him, not him, not him. Don't look at their outer experience. Don't look at their height. Don't look at their nice dress. First one, godly goodness is inner pureness. The goodness that God really respects in David is in his heart, the pure heart. That is what he's looking for. Can we take that as a learning? Maybe his success formula may work for us. Rather than outward appearance, maybe it's time for us to look at what is God looking at. Okay, let's go to the next one. Again, David overcame with godly goodness. Here is the second characteristic I could find. Look at that. 34th verse, 1 Samuel 17. But David said to Saul, when is this happening? There is a huge Goliath standing, and how many days he has been coming out of his tent and shouting at Israelites? These people? How many days? 40 days. He will daily come and say, anybody ready to fight? Come on, come on. And he goes away. 40 days. And these guys are afraid and sitting here. David came to give lunch. His dad sent him, say, go check it out. The moment David heard that this Philistine guy is talking bad about our God, he couldn't control himself. Right? That's when he said, I will go and fight this guy. Look at this. But David said to Saul, your servant was tending his father's sheep when a lion or a bear came and took a sheep from the, underline, took a sheep from the flock, underline, took a sheep. I went after it, attacked and rescued the sheep from its mouth. I know somebody else who did this. One sheep went away, went chasing to that, and then rescued that one sheep. Who is that? Jesus. Look at his heart. His heart works just like how God wants. That one sheep should not be lost. That one soul should not be lost. That one friend who should not be lost. That one employee in my office, he should not be lost. That one brother who came to church one day and he left, that should not be lost. That is the heart our God is looking for. David had this. Outer appearance, no. Inner essence is important. Next, care for souls. Not even one person should be left to go to hell. That heart he had. Now let's go to the second one. Next one. David again overcame. Godly goodness he had. He had compassion and kindness. Don't we have compassion and kindness? Look at this. 2 Samuel 9. One day David asked, is anyone in Saul's... Who is this Saul? This is the Saul who chased him, who planned to kill him through the spear, tried to put him in the front of the army. After all this doesn't work, what did he do? He found an army and chased David throughout the land. Such a bad guy. If I became powerful and this was the guy who was chasing me, what will I do? Oh, you chase me. I have army now. How dare you do it? You, your children, your children's children, your grandfather, everybody I will put in jail. Look at what he did. Is anyone in Saul's family still alive? Anyone to whom I can show kindness? Wow, what kind of a guy is this? Is this not the guy God blesses and says, David, he is a child of me, a man of my own heart? Is this not what he likes? Look at that. Last verse. Verse 3 here. Verse 13, sorry. The king then asked, is anyone still alive from Saul's family? If so, I want to show my kindness to them. What does it say? Does it say my kindness? What does it say? I want to show God's kindness. This is the heart God likes. This is the godly goodness God is looking for. Let's go to the next one. David showed godly goodness, compassion. Compassion and kindness even to the enemy's family. The guy who chased and tried to kill you. Couple of times he promised and then started trying to kill. Doing a promise saying, I will not hurt you. Bring him and throw spear. Such a bad guy. Okay. Grace, longing for the lost soul, inner beauty. This is, let's not try to be good. Let's try to be godly good. Let's go to the next one. David overcame with one more characteristic, which is godly obedience. Look at that. I've given you a bunch of examples here. Psalms 40, Chronicles, in every instance you can find him being an amazing example of obedience. All these are references for you to go and read. Time for us to reflect. How is our obedience? Let me give you one more example of David's, how he overcame with godly obedience. He sinned. We all know that he sinned. Look at what is happening here. 13, verse 13. Then David said to Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. He's first of all opening his mouth and saying, yes, I did it. This is an amazing example of how repentance happens. Even in our journey, if we have failed, we have never seen God, like we have never experienced God before, or if we have experienced and fell down once, here's a process. I have sinned against the Lord, Nathan said to David. Verse 3 here. For I know my transgressions and my sin is ever before me. Who is saying this? David is saying this. Against you, my God, you only, I have sinned. He clearly understands what he has done. He confesses it. And then rest, if you see his life throughout, he never does that again. And he becomes amazing example of obedience. What are we supposed to do? Don't we be defeated? Don't we fall down? We fall down. But our God is saying, repent. Repent to sin. Give your heart back. My friends, today, if any of us are defeated in any area, our God is an amazing God who will still be able to save you. Next, here is one more example. Godly obedience. There is an ark of Lord coming into the city, and David is dancing like crazy. He is dancing, super dancing. And his wife, she despises him in the heart because he is a king. You don't care about your dress and you don't care about your attire and everything. You're just dancing on the road in front of the ark. Look at verse 21. David said to Michal, "It was before the Lord who chose me, rather than your father or anyone from his house when he appointed me. I will celebrate before the Lord. I will become even more undignified than this." What is he saying? I just don't care about anyone. It's my God I'm celebrating. I don't care. He gets the first praise. He is the hero. I have seen when India wins in a cricket match, people come out of the stadium and whoever is coming in on auto, they'll stop the auto and say, "India won, yay!" And then somebody going on a bike, they'll say, "India won, yay!" Some people going in a bus, they'll do hi-fi. They'll be dancing with drums and everything. One match, you're winning and you're dancing like crazy. Look at this guy, he says, I just don't care. I can be even more undignified. It's my God whom I'm praising. It's my God whom I'm celebrating. Look at that attitude. It's a God first attitude. My God is the hero attitude. That is what he is showing us. David showed godly obedience. God is first. He is my hero. First place is for God always. In my loving, in my living, in my time, in my devotion, in my job, in my celebration, whatever it is, in my finances, my God is first. That is what this obedience shows. Now let's go to the last point. I can see some bright faces the moment I say last point. David overcame. How? By godly dependence. Godly dependence. He is depending on God. Two examples. Example 1, Psalm 18. I'm not going to read, but I'll give you a few examples here. Look at this. It completely shows that, Lord, you're my strength. Lord, you're my rock. Lord, you're my deliverer. Lord, you're my fortress. You're my everything. Look at this. Who else can write a love letter more than this? This is the best love letter I would say to God. David's Psalms, right, if you read them, amazing love letter to God. But it clearly shows where his heart is and who he's depending on. This is the same sinner. This is the same guy who was defeated. But look at where he is now. Psalms 18. Please read this when you go home. One more example. Psalms 25. Look at that. In you, Lord, my God, I put my trust. He says, my trust is in you. I trust in you. No one who hopes in you will ever be put to shame. Complete 100% surrender. Complete dependence on God. Look at this. Not depending on anything else. Not depending on, oh, if I have a lot of money, hallelujah, Jesus. Next month, no EMI. Oh, what to do? Go here, fall at this guy feet, that guy feet. Look at this. 100% his trust is on God. David showed God's dependence. Godly dependence. Complete surrender and trust on God. Lord is my refuge. He is my fort. No doubt, 100% I depend on God. Now let's put it together. David overcame bad with not good. Because that good that we do can fail. But he overcame with God. With godly goodness. With God-liking obedience. With God-liking dependence. And that is the formula for us. Let the world try it, its own family, their own formula. Let them try with doing good on their own strength and then overcome bad. Let them overcome with their own style. But let us overcome battles, agonies, defeats, whatever is standing in front of us as challenge. Let's stand against that and overcome it just with God. that if David can do it, we can do it.